Welcome back to Universe Mode. My name is BrendenPlayz. Tonight we have NXT for you and an action-packed episode including the NXT North American Championship on the line. Keith Lee will challenge Roderick Strong in our main event. Before we get there though, this week's main event, Retribution are going to be making their debut. Slapjack will be in the corner of T-Bar and Mace as they take on AOP. Mia Yim will take on Lana. Sheamus will go one-on-one with R-Truth. Riddick Moss and MVP in action as well. And we'll see John Morrison and The Miz team up to take on Isaiah Scott and Brian Kendrick. Should be a good contest. Slapjack can celebrate with T-Bar and Mace as they pick up a huge win. Yim gets a win over Lana. Sheamus beats R-Truth. MVP wins and Morrison and Miz too good for Scott and Kendrick. Well, to kick things off here in NXT, all the cruiserweights will be involved. Kendrick and Scott will feature again with Garza and Noam Dar. They'll team up to take on, of course, Ali, Ricochet, Tolobate, and Mark Andrews. Killian Day will take on the NXT champion, Tommaso Ciampa, in singles action. Humberto Carrillo will go one-on-one with Santos Escobar as well. Otis and Tucker will feature against Tony Nese and Arya Daivari. Heavy Machinery have a big chance to pick up a big win there. We'll also see Walter go one-on-one with Lars Sullivan. Two big bulls will fight it out here tonight. Toni Storm, she'll be in action as well against Candice LeRae as we are on the search for the next contender for the Women's Championship here in NXT. Now, main event, Keith Lee will challenge Roderick Strong for the North American Championship. The Undisputed Era will be in the corner of Roderick Strong, so be aware of that. Andrews Bate, Ricochet and Ali pick up the win in our opening contest. Ciampa too good for Killian Day. Santos Escobar with another win on a bit of a roll. Heavy Machinery beat Nese and Daivari. And let's see, will it be Walter or Sullivan? Well, this should be a real interesting matchup. Two big men are going to battle it out here. Walter has got his crew Imperium by his side. They've just started to make their presence felt here in NXT. In recent times, picking up a tag team victory. And Imperium looking to continue to make their presence felt, with Walter looking to head into the singles division and potentially cause some havoc here. This should be very, very exciting. Walter, some of the most devastating chops you will ever come across. He's had two matches in NXT, one win, one loss. That loss was a multi-man match. So Walter has all the potential to really be a big deal here in NXT. And a man that already is a pretty big deal is Lars Sullivan. This is a guy, as we've been documenting over the past season of Universe Mode, has been learning and getting better and slowly working his way up the ranks, even getting himself in NXT Championship contention. Unfortunately, unsuccessful. And that was all because of the Undisputed Era. And Lars Sullivan has struggled to win the big contest, the big match when it matters the most. Nerves have been getting the better of him. He hasn't been able to keep his head straight and figure out how to overcome his inner demons. But Lars Sullivan, he needs to start finding ways to do it. There's a lot of newcomers coming to NXT, and guys like Walter could easily step over the top of you and take your spot. And Lars has already kind of, felt that a little bit. Instead of being in the mix of potentially the NXT Championship or even the North American Championship, he's finding himself no longer really there at the moment. He's going to have to work a little bit harder to get himself back to the top. And Lars Sullivan needs every win he can get, especially try and take down a few of the new guys such as Walter, just to make sure that his name is not forgotten. He's even had some offers to join the main roster as well. Both SmackDown and Raw are both interested in securing his signature. So Lars might have to rethink, where is my future? If there's a lot of newcomers at NXT and his stocks are potentially falling a little bit, maybe a new change of scenery may be the way to go for Lars, but we'll have to wait and see. At the moment, he's taking care of Walter at the moment. Imperium on the outside, both having a chat, deciding what do we need to do to make sure that our man gets the win here tonight. Very important for them that they try and establish that, as Lars at the moment just pummeling the right-hand side of Walter's face with those right hands. Now, Lars shot to the midsection. Going to try and pick him up, and he's going to be able to do so with a big powerbomb. Excellent work from Lars Sullivan, who's looking quite good early on, trying to use that experience that he's gained over the past 12 months. And there is some of it on display there, taking care of Walter, but not sure about the cockiness to decide to pose instead of continue to fight his opponent. And Walter trying to work his way back into it, but Lars able to shut it down. But Walter now with the right hand and a clothesline. Walter's dominated all of Europe, now looking to start dominating NXT and the WWE. And if he could do it, he could be a huge deal for a long, long time. Plenty of time left in the tank for Walter, plenty of skill. He's got the size to back it up as well, and he's also got a 3-man crew behind him. 3 other men, Imperium, all ultra talented, all looking to try and support their leader in his endeavors to become a champion. As Walter now, he fires back with a big powerbomb of his own. A little bit more impressive, I've got to admit. This is good stuff from Walter. Lars struggling at the moment, and he's starting to realize, hey, this guy is just as big and strong as me. Walter's got a few more inches in size and height. And at the moment, Lars Sullivan is starting to feel all of that on display. And there's a big double-handed strike, chopping down Lars Sullivan. A bit of a karate-style chop right there. And now Walter picks him up and takes him back inside the ring. And Walter working on the left arm of Lars. Lars finally getting a bit of offense in, and takes out the knee of Walter. Nicely executed there by Lars the Freak. He doesn't like being called that, but that is what many do call him, because he has been a freak of nature at times. He has been very intimidating. He has been very tough to beat, and he's got some brute strength. He's also willing to do whatever it takes, no matter what it is. Lars is capable of doing it, as now Walter picks him up and hits him with the sidewalk slam. Love that there from Walter, but only gets the one. That side slam, very effective, but most men would have stayed down, maybe even been beaten there, but Lars straight back to his feet and gonna now try and pick up Walter himself. These two men just going tit for tat at the moment. He slams him down. Well, both men looking to display their size and strength at the moment, just throwing each other around the ring. A series of powerful moves. Walter! And the double-handed axe right to the jaw of Lars. Well, here's the deal. Both men looking to try to climb the ranks. There's no championships on the line this one, but what they're both trying to do is establish themselves as potential contenders. You know, we are looking for the next, North American #1 contender, or potentially the next NXT #1 contender after Matt Riddle takes on Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship coming up next at our next takeover. As Sullivan getting Walter over the top, and now, he's going to be able to pick him up and get him back in the ring, and a right hand onto the back of Walter. So here's the deal, these men, if they can pick up a win, it will separate themselves from the rest. It will just help them leapfrog a few other names and make sure that they are staying right in the mix, and that's where you want to be. You want to be that #1 or #2 contender ready to go when your time strikes. Both guys in the moment probably aren't anywhere near that rank. They're probably both maybe low end of the top 10, which is not where they want to be. You want to try and move yourself up a little bit. Walter, happy to strike again right there to Lars. Walter talking a little bit of trash while he does it. Don't mind that as well. This is a newcomer to NXT trying to make his mark, and you got to do it by trying to take down one of the big dogs here, and that is Lars. Big clothesline. He gave everything he had behind it. Can it be enough to beat him? And a kick out of 2 just. Walter's saying, geez, ref, you got to count a little bit quicker than that. That was a slow count in his opinion. And he might be right. He might have been able to win it. As now Walter heading up top. Where is he going? Walter! Oh, there's a big body slamming splash. He flopped out onto Lars, but Lars not going to buy it. He is going to get back to his feet and continue to fight. Might have taken a little bit more out of Walter. Now, when you belly flop into a pool, it usually hurts. And that might have been something a little bit similar there from Walter. As he's flopped down on Lars, and Lars is He's not too phased by it. He continues to work away on Walter. Massive slam. Huge spinning power slam. Will it be enough? No. And Lars is starting to realize, oh my, what have I got myself into? This guy is the real deal. Belly to belly slam now. And this is when Lars really struggles. Oh, Walter! What about that from the big man? When Lars is starting to doubt himself a little bit, this is when he's at his most vulnerable, when he hits his best move and it's not enough. Lars struggles to really be able to figure out what to do next. How do I beat a guy? If my best move doesn't work, what do I do then? Well, Lars is starting to experience that right now. Walter, he's been able to kick out. He's been able to fight and stay in this match. And Lars is starting to scramble. He's a little bit worried that he may be slipping away here. But look at that strength though. Lars, he's trying everything he can to keep Walter down. He might even look to try and work on the leg. And you can see all this power maneuvers are starting to take it out of him. He's starting to really slow down. And oh, he picked up Walter and just put him back down. Now Lars, gonna set him up. Looking for this big freak show slam. Can he find it? He's gonna go for a powerbomb instead. Running powerbomb. Cover. No. Walter had his hand underneath the rope. And Walter stays in it. So far, no interruptions, no interferences from Imperium, surprisingly. Showing respect to Lars and Walter here in this matchup. There's another powerbomb rather. And oh no, now the big bear hug. Walter got back to his feet quickly and he's applying it. And he's really wrenching the body of Lars, who's struggling here. This could be it here for Lars Sullivan, a bear hug. Trying to work away, hitting those elbows. Now slapping the face of Walter. Now that there's press, big right hands. And Lars is trying desperately to stay in this. This would be a massive win though for Lars. This would be a win to get him back in the ranks, in the mix. Walter, shoulder block takedown. Walter sitting at 50% win-loss. He needs to improve on that record if he's going to be a threat to a championship. He's now looking to try and put him away. Cover! No! A kick out again. Anyone's match right now. Next big move may win it. Lars is slowing down. Walter feels as though this may be a chance for him. He's got Lars up. Drives the knee into the midsection. Now the running senton. Nice combination there by Walter. Try for the left hand, missing. Lars. Oh, he's got him up with the shoulders. What about this? And he's driving the shoulder into the back. Oh, Walter returning the serve here with a submission of his own. That's going to take a lot out of him, though. He has to hold a big man up on his shoulders for a long time. And Lars is slowing down because of it. Lars, he's using up all his energy he's got left. Looking for a clothesline, but he just had nothing left. He was too slow and going for an easy counter there for Walter. And Lars has been taken down. The SDO, could it be it? No. Walter can't believe it. He thought this was going to be his win. Right hand by Walter. Walter with the takedown. Drag the arm down. Lars gets him against the ropes. Both men can't find anything there. Counter there by Walter. Oh, what about that left hand strike? Nearly a knockout blow. Huge stuff there from Walter. Now Walter has Lars down again. He's going to head up top. Lars is in right where Walter wants him. All that body weight splashing down onto Lars. Lars is in trouble. The hook of the leg. And he got it. Walter picks up the biggest win to date for his NXT career. A win over Lars Sullivan. A win that will put him on the map. And Lars, another loss for him. He might have to reevaluate what is next for him. He can't believe it. He's devastated. But Walter is ecstatic. What a win by Walter here tonight. Good matchup. Time for some women's action here on this episode of NXT. Toni Storm will take on Candice LeRae one-on-one. Our previous matchup, we were trying to determine rankings as well, and this is quite similar. We're going to look to try and find out who is our next #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship. We saw Dakota Kai pick up a big win over Kairi Sane recent times. Toni Storm would love to do the same. 3 wins to her name so far. 43% win-loss. Who could forget earlier on in the season, Toni Storm picking up a massive win over Peyton Royce, who was the NXT Women's Champion at the time. So Toni Storm has got the potential to win big matchups. We haven't seen all that much of her as of late, but it's good to see her back. And she's going to be up against Candice LeRae, another contender here in NXT that we haven't seen all that much of. I'm sure she would love to get a bit more consistency and compete a little bit more, but 5 wins to her name, and she's got 42% win-loss. So very similar numbers here for both women. Both women looking to try and get themselves just ahead of the rest of the competition, which is growing. You know, if the men's division is really starting to grow, well, so is the women's. So many newcomers are coming in NXT, which really means you need to be at the top of your game. You know, we've got Chelsea Green coming in, Aaliyah, of course, Mercedes Martinez, and Mia Yim as well, Shotzi Blackheart. There's so many newcomers already, and there's still more to come. So if you're someone like Toni Storm and Candice LeRae, who have been around for a little bit, but haven't quite had any success in a major way, well, you might want to try and start to accomplish it now, because if you miss out, if you don't really establish yourself as one of the best contenders, you're going to fall behind very, very quickly, and that's not exactly what you'd want to do at all. Toni Storm with an early start here over Candice LeRae in the upper hand, but Candice trying to fight herself right away back into it, as Toni Storm able to take her down again though. So the early advantage is to Toni Storm, who jumps over the top of that attempted dropkick as well. Now with a step suplex. Great start here from Toni Storm, and we mentioned earlier on, you know, she's shown us in the past that she's got the potential, and displaying it right here again as well. Now the Snapmare following up with a kick, but missing it. Toni Storm back to her feet quick enough, and now the backstabber as well. Beautifully executed there by Toni Storm, who's really looking good here. She's on top of her game to start this match. Very good start here. Well, Rhea Ripley is our NXT Women's Champion. She's been able to defeat Shayna Baszler to be able to win that one, and looks like Shayna Baszler will not be challenging again for that championship, and her future is unknown. So we're looking for the next contender, as we mentioned, as, oh, here we go, she's got that arm hooked. Unable to get it done though. So Rhea Ripley has been incredibly dominant since coming in to the division. She's had 9 matches, 7 of them victories to her name, 78% win-loss. It's a hell of a number. And with that being said, she really is the one to beat at the moment. She's going to be incredibly difficult long-term to knock off. So you're going to have to find the absolute best contender to take her down, and it may take a few contenders to do it. I really believe that. I really believe she's going to be that difficult to beat that, you know, even the #1 contender right now may not be in a position to do so. There's a nice missile drop kick there, springboard missile drop kick there from Candice LeRae. You know, a lot of these contenders right now, as that's beautifully executed. Hold that thought, it could be all. All the contenders right now in NXT all hovering around that 40 to 50% win-loss, with a few heading towards that 60 plus, maybe even 70. So there's a few genuine real deals, and that's exactly what we're trying to find out. Is Toni Storm or the Candice LeRae a real deal contender? Well, right now, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. Well, the Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania is set. It's going to be Becky Lynch versus Bayley. Becky Lynch, a dominant champion. She has been champion for a long time. Can Bayley finally win a major championship here in her career? She tried on SmackDown, she failed. Will the Raw Women's Championship be the one that she gets? We'll find out when these two women battle it out at the biggest show of the year at WrestleMania. Well, this match is spilled out to the outside of the ring at the moment. Candice LeRae has worked her way back into this one after Toni Storm had a great start. Candice looking as though she may be on the verge of trying to steal this away from Toni. As Toni's been able to get herself back in the ring with Candice with a right hand to the back of Candice. And Candice now with an attempted counter. She found it. Ray trying to pick up Toni Storm here and try and maybe go for the big finishing move to win this one. Toni can't quite connect there with an attempted kick. And Ray trying to utilize all her experience right now, trying to maybe win this one. Oh, there it is! Candice LeRae. What about that? The hook of the leg. Candice could do it here. No, a kick out at 2, and she can't believe it. Well, Candice, as we mentioned, very good in the break. Now she's got herself in a real winning position, and she's going to try and win it here. She's got the submission in. Toni Storm in the middle of the ring. Nowhere to go. She can't reach the ropes. Toni could tap here, trying to choke her out. Candice LeRae. Oh no, she's decided to try something else. She couldn't quite get it. Couldn't quite win it with that move. Candice, though, she's going to try this instead. She's going to work on the arm. More submissions here by Candice LeRae. Toni Storm in trouble again. But this time, Toni Storm slips out of it. And able to get Candice off her feet. Toni Storm in big trouble. All those submissions doing plenty to wear down the body of Storm. And Candice could be about to put herself in a winning position potentially. As now she's got the leg hooked and not to be. Maybe thought about potentially winning the match right there and then, but she's going to have to try and find something else. Toni Storm back up to her feet though, but Candice continues the offense. Left hand there by Storm. Now the chop as well. And now the shot to the midsection. Toni Storm, she's got her up and hits a pile driver. Wow. Just when though, she thought maybe I could win it from there. Candice LeRae utilizing her experience, able to roll to the outside of the ring. And Toni Storm can't win it. She's going to have to try and find something else now. Back inside the ring in the middle, but oh, big counter. Wonderful counter there by Candice LeRae. Excellent stuff. And now, Toni Storm sent into the corner. And look out, right hand. And more strikes, more offense here. Toni into the corner again. Candice LeRae. She needs to find something. She's been very effective the last few minutes with those submissions, but hasn't been enough. She's got Storm up the top here. Toni Storm, right where she wants her! Avalanche, swinging neck breaker, both legs hooked. What about that from LeRae? And it's enough to win the match. Candice LeRae, what a win it is for her. A win that may establish herself as a genuine threat to the NXT Women's Championship. What a win by LeRae. What a finishing move at the end. Well, that could be a career-changing win for LeRae. Time for our main event here as Keith Lee is on his way to the ring. He will challenge for the NXT North American Championship. Keith Lee earning the right to challenge Roderick Strong recently after winning a big multi-man matchup. 5 wins to his name for Keith Lee. He's had plenty of issues with Matt Riddle over the last few months. He finally has moved on from Riddle. He was unsuccessful in ever beating Matt Riddle. Riddle got the better of him on a few occasions, and Keith Lee has had to learn from that. He's had to deal with that. And ever since Matt Riddle has moved on to potentially becoming the next contender for the NXT Championship, Keith Lee was unsuccessful in that chase. Well, he's decided to change gears, go for a different championship, and continue his success in a different way. And that's what he's trying to do tonight with the North American Championship. Forget about Matt Riddle. Focus on beating Roderick Strong tonight. That has been Keith Lee's plan. And he's going to have to really be at the top of his game tonight. Roderick Strong, 30 wins to his name. He has the most wins out of anybody in NXT. He has surpassed Johnny Gargano, who sits at 29 wins. Well, Roderick now has 30. He's looking to make it 31 here tonight. Cassius Ohno was the victim for Roderick Strong to win the championship. He even defended the championship against Ohno again. And, well, he thought it was an injustice that he had to defend his championship once again here against Keith Lee tonight. He believes that our NXT General Manager Shawn Michaels is out to get him in the Undisputed Era, since Adam Cole hasn't been given the opportunities that he feels as though he is entitled to, as have, the Undisputed Era's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. They haven't been given championship opportunities in the tag division either. So, they really believe it's a bit of a conspiracy right now. But the Undisputed Era, I mean, trying to be held back. Well, Roderick Strong is the champion, and he will have to defend tonight. Doesn't matter what he thinks or what he wants. Doesn't matter. Keith Lee has been given the championship opportunity. He's earned it. And Roderick Strong, if he wants to remain champion, he's going to have to earn this win tonight. Keith Lee looks to be in good form. Roderick Strong, he was impressive over Cassius Ohno. But Keith Lee may be a different beast that he has to try and tame. As Lee with a big start, shot to the midsection. And he's going to pick up Strong already, and there's a powerbomb. Well, no better way to start right there and show that you are the bigger man in this match with a couple of big power moves to get things underway. Keith Lee has got all the potential. We know that. He can move around. He's got the size, but he's got the agility to really move around the ring like many of the cruiserweights at times. He can fly, and it's incredible to see a man of his size do so, and that's why he's so devastating. He's a bit of a hybrid. There's no real way to be able to beat Keith Lee. You can try and tire him out, but despite the fact, he may not, look physically in the best shape in the world, he definitely has the in-ring shape to really go the best with anyone, and he can do whatever it takes. If you need to try and quicken the pace and make it a bit more of a high-flying match, Keith Lee at times can match that. If you need to go for a power game, he can do that. Maybe a weakness, maybe a technical game, that may be where Roderick Strong will try and win here tonight with his great technical ability and all that experience that he's been able to gain over the years. That might be the small little window of opportunity that I think he needs to explore here tonight. But at the moment, Keith Lee is just throwing Strong around the ring like it's nothing. Well, the Undisputed Era watching on ringside, they had to be concerned early on that Roderick Strong may be in some trouble here. Keith Lee looks to be ready to go. He's been training for this one. He is more than prepared for this. Roderick Strong with a single leg takedown. Finally some offense for him. But I tell you what, Roderick Strong, he's going to have to do a little bit more than that if he's going to beat Lee tonight. Keith Lee just throwing Strong around the ring so comfortably. And Roderick Strong, every time he's been, he gets tossed around like that, it's going to take more and more out of him. It's going to be even more difficult for him to bounce back. And that's the danger that he's currently having to face at the moment. Even if he can find a submission, even if he can find something to get Lee off his feet, which he hasn't been able to do so yet, as Keith Lee bowls him over with his own shoulder block takedown. And even Strong can do it. Keith Lee is so difficult to beat. And Matt Riddle just had something over Keith Lee. Just psychologically, Keith Lee just felt as though he couldn't beat Matt Riddle. It got the better of him. And Keith Lee never was able to do it. And to his credit, he's just been able to put that behind him and try and focus on the future. And Lee's future has simply been focused on winning championships. And he's been able to get himself in contention. And this could be the night where he wins it. Roderick Strong, he's in a lot of trouble. He might need the Undisputed Era to help him out here as he gets the leg hooked. He's able to kick out. As we said, he's been impressive, Roderick Strong. He's got 30 wins to his name for a reason. He beat his former tag team partner Cassius Ohno not once but twice. First to win the championship, second to defend it. And I think he's been too focused on this injustice that he feels as though is happening, this wrongdoing that is happening to the Undisputed Era, when in reality, he's just having to be a fighting champion. This is we've got a brand new championship at NXT, the North American Championship finally coming to NXT, and our general manager wants to see it being defended. The reason why the championship was brought in is because we have all these newcomers, all these new potential stars coming through the ranks, and the fans want to see another championship for these guys to compete for. And Roderick Strong has that championship, and well, they want to see that championship put on the line. And Roderick Strong, if he's not prepared to fight and defend it, well, he shouldn't have been prepared to try and win it to begin with. Both men crashing at the moment. Strong went off the top of the rope. I don't think he got all of what he was intending, but he got enough to get Keith Lee off the ground, but he might have hurt himself a little bit more than Keith Lee, because Lee's back to his feet, and now he's back on the attack here. So Roderick Strong, despite the fact he took a risk, not that effective in the end. And Lee might be looking for another power bomb. He's got him up and drops him down. That jackknife power bomb hooks the leg. Could be all here for Roderick Strong. Counter two, and almost getting it there as Keith Lee thought for 1 second maybe I was about to become a champion. And again, now Keith Lee with a bear hug. Roderick Strong feeling the pain right now. The strength of Keith Lee wrenching the body of Roderick. And Roderick able to get out of it with some elbows. And fights out of the attempted bear hug. There's a clothesline. And Roderick now, is he about to mount a comeback? Keith Lee's had all the offense so far. But the champion not going to let up this easy. He's going to keep on going. He's going to fight as a champion. He's going to go down swinging. And he's swinging right now with some right hands. Now the chop. Keith Lee feeling it, but not phasing him all that much. Oh, what about that transition there into the submission? Boston Crab, but still not enough to beat Keith Lee. Keith Lee finding the ropes. Referee all over that. Roderick trying to pick up Lee, struggling to do so. Drop kick, doesn't even take him off his feet. And he's bowled over again by Keith. Roderick trying to get Keith down. He's trying everything. He knows every move in the book, Roderick Strong. He's no doubt about that. He's a technical wizard, but at the moment, Keith Lee, just power is just too much. Huge knee, though. That struck down Keith Lee. Now he's going to go up the top. Roderick Strong, what about the elbow? Right in the heart of Keith Lee. Will that be all? The cover does not hook the leg. And it will be a kick out for Keith Lee. Oh, big move off the top. Undisputed Era haven't got themselves involved yet. Been letting Roderick try and win this one on his own, to their credit. And we appreciate that, because this has been a really interesting contest at the moment. This could be a win for Roderick Strong if he can continue this momentum he's starting to mount. At the moment, Keith Lee is trying to fight out of this. Roderick Strong, he's just working his way in a potential victory. Despite the fact he's the champion, I would nearly say it's an upset win for Roderick Strong if he can win tonight. You know, he has 30 wins, he's had all the success, but Roderick Strong at times hasn't been able to step up to the big occasion. He's starting to really learn how to win those big matches, you know, winning the championship to begin with. And Roderick, at the moment, he needs to try and find something. Dig down deep to that arsenal of maneuvers that he knows, all that experience that he's got, and try and use it to defeat this big man. And oh, hang on, Bobby Fish having a word to say to Keith Lee, and Keith Lee not backing down from Fish. If you want to fight me, he says, let's go. And of course, a disqualification will only help Roderick Strong. And oh no, hang on. Oh, Undisputed Era. Hang on. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole both shrugging Keith Lee there. Keith Lee back in the ring now. Roderick Strong, small little chance here. A little bit of a window has been created for him thanks to his Undisputed Era goons, I would say, his friends. Keith Lee though, oh no, has him up with the shoulders. Oh, Keith Lee! He's hit Strong with ground zero. Will this be it? No champion! Keith Lee has just pinned Roderick Strong to become the new NXT North American Champion with ground zero at the end. He hit Roderick Strong with everything he had. And Roderick, he just got beaten down throughout the entire match. He had a bit of a comeback at the end. Keith Lee, though, shut it down quickly, finding ground zero. And Keith Lee has just become a champion for the first time in his NXT career, winning the North American Championship. You have to feel as though the Undisputed Era will not be happy about this. This won't be the end of this situation between Lee and the Undisputed Era, but Keith Lee, that is a huge win for him, and he's now a champion. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.